You know what they say about the fleep flop flooping. When you want to flick flag and you really want to do the do, it don't really matter what it be or what it must, honestly. But what it will always must do. What I'm trying to say is life sucks sometimes. Passing out, right? We've all heard of it. Some of us have experienced it, some more than others. It's not fun. I just want to go on the record. I didn't know if anyone actually thought it was fun. It's not a good time. So I've actually been so blessed in my life to have passed out 3 times. What? Mistakes happen. So this ended up happening 3 times. Once in my cross-country senior season. Another time was this 2019 summer where I was a senior becoming a college freshman. And the most recent time was September 2019 at my first race for college. Wasn't fun. Maybe you guys can learn from this. Just stay hydrated, all right? As someone very wise once told me, it's okay to be white, black, Asian, happy, sad, tall, short, fat, skinny, but it's never okay to be dehydrated. Honestly, wisest thing I've ever heard in my life. So getting into the first time this happened, right? I was pretty terrified. It was kind of I think it was end of September. It was a pretty hot day. It was kind of entering fall, so we were kind of used to some, cool fall days. And then this day just hit, right? It was 80s and I don't know why I just hit. It was workout day, right? I think it was 8 times 1,000 meters. We did it on the golf course loop or whatever that we had. Fun fact, me and the guy who I'm just gonna say I think me and him were tied for number 1, man. You think we know what we were doing, right? I actually don't know what happened to him, but 2 reps into the workout, right? I mean, I wasn't really feeling great that day. He wasn't either, so when it got to I think it was the 2nd or 3rd rep, he had to pull out, which was very unusual. He kind of just stopped, and we were all wondering what was wrong. He felt like he said he was gonna pass out, so he went to the trainers or whatever, and they shook him up or whatever, and he wasn't feeling great, lightheaded and whatever, so he was out. I was feeling the exact same way. The only difference is I was really stupid. I kept going. I wasn't having a great workout. For those first 2 reps or whatever, I was still in the front, but once the 4th one hit and the 5th one hit and the 6th one hit, I was falling back pretty hard, and I didn't know kind of what was wrong. I was so far back. In my mind, I kind of figured oh god, this heat is killing me or whatever, but I didn't really think I might pass out. So it gets that 7th rep, I'm just on my knees, right? And the 2 minutes of rest just flew by. I didn't even know. I just oh shit. I was just seeing colors. Everything felt numb and hot and cold, but it also hurt. I don't even know. And I was yeah, I'm done. I can't get up. So they had to call in the trainer card or whatever, and then they picked me up. I couldn't even feel or move. It's all just foggy pain. And the other guy who almost passed out, he was just in the car. He was just drinking water. And he's you dumb fuck. Okay, I didn't technically pass out for this one, okay? And I'm sorry, okay? The clickbait again. Turns out part of the reason why I felt this way kind of just went through the whole day, and I think I only ate a granola bar. So I went through the whole day of school or whatever, and the whole morning or whatever, and then, warming up for practice or whatever, and I just forgot to eat. They were talking about, what'd you eat today? And I just realized oh yeah, I didn't have much. So that plus the heat is why I was literally about to pass out. Getting into the 2nd time, right? So this is great. It was over this summer, right? The last one, 2019. Just me running by myself. It was a hot day. It was 3 p.m. and it was scorching. It was mid-90s and there was no wind. And where I was running, it was just pure sun. I ate this time, right? It was supposed to be a tempo. I did 3 miles as a warm-up. It hurt. The warm-up hurt, all right? And I do not say that lightly. And then I had this fucking 5 or 6 or some mile tempo that I was about to do. And I made it a mile in, and I was just going down this straight path or whatever. And then I just boop, bye. Passed out on the ground. Scorching hot. I knew everything was feeling horrible, and I was maybe I should just go home, run on the treadmill or something. But I was already too far gone. I was already 3 miles out. I was I might as well just do this tempo. I mean, it's gonna hurt, obviously, but yeah, no, just black, boom. Woke up, and I ended up calling Deb Callahan, and I'm hey, because he was the only one that was just close by. He lived right by the trail I was running. I was I need someone to pick me up. I'm about to die. I actually got up, and the first thing I did was try running again, and then I just collapsed again. It wasn't smart, guys. I'm aware of it. I understand, all right? I'm sorry. I texted him or whatever, and he didn't respond, and it was an hour, and I was already at this point walking back, and when I was walking, I don't know how slow people walk, but I was walking slow because my body felt like death. When I spit, I couldn't even get anything out. It was just air. And so eventually, I'm a mile away from where my car was parked back at the high school. He finally answers, and he's hey dude, what's up? You all right? And I'm hey dude, I kind of passed out. I need you to come pick me up. Savior of lives. Thanks, man. So he came and he picked me up. That was it. I went home and I chugged 5 bottles of water, and it was great. The next day though, I had a scorching headache. It was horrible. It was a fucking hangover, but the hangover got hungover. It was horrible. I don't know, man. Just stupid mistakes. Boom. Third time I passed out. Get this, right? This was my first ever college meet. It was at Notre Dame, right? Dylan Jacobs was there. I almost took a picture with the goose. And so I'm super like, I'm all ready for this race or whatever. I thought I was, right? Finished the warm up. And you know when you guys warm up, you probably need like an hour in advance. Warm up, and then you do your stretches, and then you jog a little more again, then you do your stretches or whatever, and then you do your strides or whatever. Like, it takes about an hour, especially for me. So when I get ready for races and stuff, I really need like just that hour. Like, I just need to just get ready. I'm pretty ready day of meets, but I just need to like, that's it. Like, I'm getting ready to go. You know what I mean? We finished our like 2-mile warm up, whatever. And coach is like, oh, bad news, guys. The race got moved. It's in 5 minutes. You guys gotta go to the line right now. And we were like, what? So I freak out, right? I start like freaking out. Like my heart rate just shoots up. I'm like doing my strides to the bathroom. And then I come back and there's 2 minutes left till the race starts. So I just throw on my spikes and I like sprint to the start line, and they're like 30 seconds till start or something like that. And like literally it was just like a pure rush, right? One thing I must mention about this day, it was hot as balls, folks. It was hot. And I don't know why, it just felt scorching out there. I'm freaking, I feel my heart just like boom, 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 boom. Like it's beating fast. I'm like out of breath when I'm at that line. I think part of it, again, I'm like just sprinting to get everything ready, and I was just freaking out. Like mentally, I was freaking out, and it was just making me like flip out. Gun goes off. At the end of the first 400 meters, I knew something was wrong. My like heart rate was so high up, like I was gassed, just like, and I was like, it was so hard to breathe. And we make it like 1.5 miles in, and I start seeing those colors again from when I passed out the last time. Oh no, something is so wrong. Eventually, we make it like 2.5 miles in, and my legs are kind of like feeling like numb, and I'm like, oh, this isn't good. I have half of a race left. It was about 3 miles in, and you know what happens. Just laying there on the ground, and wow, it was so not fun. I literally just like blacked out, and then like I woke up, I'm just like seeing stars, and everything's hot and cold and numb and hurt, and eventually I just see all these bodies and they're like rushing over me or whatever, and I can't hear what they're saying. I think they asked me what school I went to, and I just kept saying Lockport, even though that was the high school. I got my name right though, so you know, it wasn't completely stupid. They ended up like picking me up on the cart or whatever, and then I started to kind of regain myself, and they took me to the tent. This was like college meet stuff. This was nothing like, they were just, it's like at the ER, and they're doing all this stuff or whatever. Eventually I kind of come to, you know how I said the next day it kind of hurt? No, that next day hurt so bad. It was just horrible. Like the whole day was just like pulsing. I couldn't get anything off my mind off it. It was horrible. Honestly, my review, passing out is not a good time. If you've ever passed out, I'm sorry for you. At least we're not knocked out, right guys? I kind of think it's funny now to look back on it, like, oh yeah, that all happened. It wasn't fun at the time, obviously, but I can kind of look back and be like, you know what? I learned what not to do in those 3 times. It is what it is, it be what it be. Everything happens for a reason. Never be dehydrated. All right, thank you guys so very much for watching. It's itsDvon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.